Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your English class. We were reading the chapter The Fire, Friend, and Foe. Okay, on page number 115. So, let's begin with the chapter. It is sometimes said that the fire is a good servant but a bad master. It is said it is a good servant, means it can obey your whatever orders it is, but it cannot work on its own. If it works on its own, it will always do destructions. Okay, it only means that fire is very useful as long as it's kept under control. Fire is only helpful and it is only useful if that fire is kept under control. Okay, if it goes out of control, fire can do disaster. Okay, for instance, we use it for to cook our food, warm our homes in winter, and to generate electricity. We use fire for cooking. We use it for keeping our house warm in winters. Whenever the time, the cold season, we use fire to keep ourselves warm. And fire also generates electricity. Okay, these are the good uses of fire. But on the other hand, if fire gets out of control, it can be very dangerous. But when it is out of control, it goes out of control, it is very dangerous. It can destroy very big fields, forest, buildings, homes. It can destroy the entire town. Okay, each year thousands of homes and shops are damaged by fire. We know that each year there are hundreds and thousands of shops that are and houses that are damaged by fire. Okay, the fire destroys everything, whatever comes in its way. Vast areas of forest are also destroyed. Areas of forest is also destroyed with fire, and hundreds of people are killed and injured, and the ones who come in contact with the fire die, whether it is human or it is animal. They all suffer injuries. They all die. They all are burned to death. So it is very, very dangerous if it gets out of control. Just as three things are needed to start a fire, there are three main ways in which a fire can be put out. As there are three things needed to start a fire, the same way there are three things needed to put out a fire also. Okay, in each one of the three things needed to burning is taken away. If in those three things the main source of burning is taken away, the fire can also come under control. For example, we can take away the fuel that is helping the fire to burn. We can take away the fuel. If we take away the fuel, there will be no source for fire to burn, to continue burning. Okay, if the fire has no fuel to feed on, no burning can take place. We often let a fire die out simply by not adding more fuel to it. Okay, we can stop the fire by taking out the main source, means the fuel out of the fire. Stop the contact of fire with the fuel. The whatever the fire is little bit burning, it will automatically stop by itself. If it is not getting any fuel, or it is not getting any help of the fuel to continue its burning. Okay, if we take out the fuel, it will stop burning, and the fire will be out in our control. Okay, so here one is fuel that we can take out for keeping the fire out. The second way of putting out a fire is to prevent oxygen from reaching it. See, oxygen helps fire in spreading. Okay, so that's why it is, whenever you do an experiment, no, that candle and light, I told you before also. So you can always see, if you put a glass on the candle, the candle will stop burning. Why? Because there is no oxygen supply inside. Okay, so same thing, if the source of oxygen is stopped where the fire is taken place, maybe the fire will stop burning. No supply of oxygen means no fire. Small fires can be put out or smothered with a damp blanket or a sack. This stops oxygen reaching the burning material. Sometimes carbon dioxide is used to extinguish fire. It does not allow oxygen to reach the burning material. Okay, it does not allow oxygen to reach the burning material, because it helps in the oxygen is helping fire to burn, and as we stop the supply of oxygen, it will stop burning. Okay, the fire will stop burning if there is no source of oxygen. Okay, the third way of putting out a fire is to remove the heat. If the temperature can be brought down below the flash point, the fuel stops burning. If the temperature is brought below the flash point, means if the temperature is brought down below its burning point, the fire can be put out. Okay, the atmosphere or the temperature is very hot, and if you bring down the temperature, okay, we cool down the temperature, the fire will stop. Okay, you blow on a burning matchstick or a candle to put it out. In doing so, you remove the hot air around the flame, bringing down its temperature below the flash point, and the candle goes out. Okay, and the candle goes out as you blow the candle. Sometimes water is spread on a fire. It absorbs heat from the burning fuel and lowers the temperature. The blanket of water also cuts off the supply of oxygen, and the fire is extinguished. The blanket or the sack is actually bori. Okay, so it helps you put out the fire. Understood? If the fire has been caught in an electrical appliance, you do not use water to put out the fire. Okay, that's very dangerous. So these are the main ways of putting out the fire. It will help in putting out the fire. Okay, stopping the fuel supply, bringing down the temperature, and by reaching the burning and putting out the supply of oxygen. So these are the things that will help in putting out the fire. Okay, so just go through this chapter, and if you find any difficulties, you can ask. So the remaining part we will read in the next video. Thank you.